Silicon Valley Bank hired woke board obsessed with diversity, invested $5 billion for healthier planet.
Question becomes, as I'm going to probably ask a lot of times, what does that have to do with anything? We all know Tim Pool. Let's just kind of hear.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that wokeness has literally destroyed the economy and may take down the world with it. We have a story from the Daily Mail, an outstanding ESG rating, but no chief risk operator. Silicon Valley Bank hired woke board obsessed with diversity, invested $5 billion for healthier planet, and held month.
I love how like Tim Pool has such a like boomer brain that like you can tell that he's getting worked up just reading the headline. Like you can always kind of tell. You should always be weary of people who get like really caught up in the headline, especially when the headline is like this long and also like is clearly steered to like immediately give you like it's just like, here is your opinion. Like that's what this is for. But
long Pride celebration, but failed to spot glaring problems with investments. Yep.
Yeah, and the question becomes, as I'm going to probably ask a lot of times, what does that have to do with anything? When we say like the idea that they're like, oh, they held a month-long Pride celebration, oh, they must have been like out in the streets for the entire month. They did no work that entire month. No, let's be honest here. It was most of these are regular office settings. They probably had like a board and like they put up some decorations and had like some game in the office or something, like rather mundane stuff. But like you know, are we gonna hear what that means? No, because the only thing Tim Pool and whoever wrote this article wants to do, the only thing they're interested in is, you know, is they say, oh, Pride Month. They had a month-long Pride Month, which Pride's always a month, but they didn't notice this other thing. And it's like, well, what, the one doesn't distract from the other? Like, obviously. Thanks, Alexander. Appreciate that subscription. But yeah, how are these two things related? And the answer is going to be, this entire video is they're not. None of these things are going to be related. But
can't say that anybody's surprised. I went over this a bit in the previous segment.
Oh god, they have a brown person.
Now we have a story basically breaking down how wokeness destroyed the global economy, and
yes,
it's a good thing.
Yes, the global economy is destroyed now. Didn't you hear?
You know, I'm sure we over at Timcast can write the article. Wokeness has destroyed the economy. Here's why that's a good thing. Well, look, it sucks the economy may get destroyed by this. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I do know that they're coming out and saying it's a good thing that Joe Biden finally woke up at 9 a.m. Check out this clip. And that's what people need to hear. Nope, sorry, I gotta make sure I fix the audio, because I always have the audio switched so I can listen to music.
Now, it's important to note, President Biden does nothing at 9 a.m. He is a night owl. So the fact that he is doing this at 9 a.m. anyway speaks to how vital.
Well, yeah, we all know he's a night owl. He's playing Destiny 2 with fucking Barack and Donald, obviously, or they're playing zombies. We all know this.
The White House recognized it.
We all know that they stay up playing COD Zombies.
To the American public.
Okay, let's put it simply. Joe Biden never gets up at 9 a.m. and decided to today because there's a run in the banks, they may be collapsing, stocks are tanking, and the bond market is predicting the system.
Man, imagine if this is the only place that you got your information. Like, nothing he said is actually true, only really like 40% of it is, and even then it's a gross mischaracterization of what is happening right now.
Is imploding right now. I certainly hope none of that's true. There are a lot of people in media who are
wait. What? Okay. Moving on.
Believe the end is nigh.
Okay.
Because it's shocking and it makes money. There are a lot of people in media who are going to tell you everything is fine. Everything's fine. Just go out and go shopping and don't worry about it. Because they don't want you to panic, which could screw with their money. I honestly don't know which way it could go. And there's a million and one arguments. I can only tell you that it's happening. Now, the fact that Joe Biden got up super early in the morning to talk about this says to me that it really is shocking. And the media is probably going to lie to you about how important this moment is. I don't want to be See, I know a lot of people watch these videos, and I don't want to go out and be like, the end is
I
nigh,
do
and
watch
then
these
cause a panic.
videos.
But I'm going to be honest with you, I am not particularly confident in this, and anybody who has ever watched any of my videos pertaining to the economy and where we're heading, they're going to be like, oh yeah, Tim Pool, once again, he's got a negative view of what's happening.
Interesting. Didn't Tim Pool like get started in the Occupy like movement, like during like Occupy? Just let's read this really quickly because I don't know if he's gonna read this. Well, I'll better read this fucking article.
It's one of the reasons I bought crypto.
Can you read the article
cities.
instead
Let's
of just
talk
putting
about
it
how
here?
wokeness specifically may have destroyed the global economy. The reason I said before that it's a good thing is because this could actually destroy wokeness. When all these companies collapse, it's the woke ones that go first. And the meritocratic institutions will probably get hurt pretty bad, but in the long run, probably survive.
I love the idea that you can't be woke and have merit. It's always like this weird thing where they talk about merit as like this objective like evaluation of your value as a company, as a business, as a producer of any kind of product, but then they like immediately like walk that back and go like, well, look, if you're woke, then your merit isn't really your merit doesn't really exist. You're woke. You're either woke or you're meritocratic, even though again it's just the obvious thing where like woke doesn't really mean anything. But like, yeah, love that contradiction.
ESG, environmental social governance. You cannot run businesses on good feelings and positive vibes. It doesn't work, and eventually they'll implode. So here we are. The Daily Mail says, executives at Silicon Valley Bank focused on woke initiatives to increase diversity amongst its ranks and invest in startups promoting a healthier planet, but failed to spot its glaring problems with investments as interest rates rose.
Right, which again, you would have to draw. I'm gonna be a broken record here, but you're gonna have to draw. You're gonna have to tell me how these two things are connected, how one affects the other. Because if not, you're just stating two things that happened and just kind of assuming that these things are connected.
The now failed bank had an A rating for its ESG policies, according to MSCI. Run for the hills. I got to get a baseball bat and get a wide angle so I can get up and like smash bottles and be like, the ESG companies are not sound investments. If you have money in any company that has a high ESG rating, they are screaming in your face. They prioritize their religion over running their business. Now, hold on there a minute, my friends. I don't care if somebody is religious and runs a business. You just got to understand that if you have a burger chain and instead of selling burgers, you start preaching the Bible, people might stop coming for burgers. And don't get me wrong, I love me some Sweet Frog. You guys know about Sweet Frog?
I just want us to take a look really quickly of high ESG companies. Let's see. Exelon, PepsiCo, Cisco, Verizon, Nvidia, Apple, PayPal. Like, I'm not, what the, yeah, show me the top 5, you dumbass. God damn. Why would you only show me a few? I hate the internet. Oh my God. Fuck. Okay. My point is, like, getting an A rating for environmental social policies, all of this stuff. This is all just an understanding so that companies know what they're investing in. Like at the end of the day, like, their ESG rating is only really going to be like concerned with like some of its environmental effects, which, by the way, you might want to be aware of if you're an investor in any company, because you want to know, because knowing the environmental effects also allows you to like have the knowledge of like, oh, how much are we losing towards renewables or not using renewables? How much how much are we at risk if like this or that impact hits us? Are we in a place to recover from whatever it might be? But like, yeah, you want government like you want these things because companies operate in other countries and other regions of the world where they need to be aware of government regulations as well. In terms of also like the social stuff, it's like the end of the day, you want to, like, a lot of people are like, like, as long as you have like good ratings in all the categories, if you're running your company in a good way and you happen to have a diverse workforce, cool, that's great too. But that's not even the like the social aspect is only a third of that rating, and even then it's probably one of the smaller ones. The biggest ones you're talking about is probably governments and the environment, because again, you need to know your impact, which means you also need to know that how to reinvest your money to recoup some of those costs. If point is, it's stupid to just write it off as like, if you have a good rating in something that's actually bad, like that's fucking stupid. Any of those companies are functioning perfectly fine.
Frozen yogurt shop, and FROG stands for fully rely on God. Here's the best part. I walk into Sweet Frog and they have on their wall, fully rely on God, frog. No joke, that's what it says. Not all locations show that, but some do. It ain't no bother to me. I walk over, fill up my yogurt, throw some cookie dough on it, and I'm good to go. You can preach, you can have your business, but just to make sure your business works. What's happening with these ESG companies, it's like you walk into a yogurt shop and you walk up to the yogurt pump, and instead, when you pull the lever down, it starts playing you a diversity training manual, and it's like,
this is fucking stupid. That's just okay, we're just moving on.
You know why we have more women on our board? And you're like, where's the yogurt, man? People leave. They're not going to stick around.
Yeah.
This is what's
all the times you went to go buy a Pepsi,
they did not have a chief risk
or a
operator.
Mountain Dew,
So here's what
at the store, and instead it was just a little
SVB probably made a lot of sense.
A little empty bottle that was
As
like, we hire women.
To drill its way into the brains of these human beings who are too psychotic and stupid
Tim,
to realize what was happening.
Take it easy.
They start shifting the focus of the business into investing in companies that are full of a bunch of psychotic cult members. That's what institutional capture does. But guess what? Woke companies don't make money. You ever watch that episode of South Park where Cartman...
Please don't use South Park as a understanding of economics. Please don't tell me you're this fucking stupid, Tim. South Park is not a... Okay, we'll just...
Wants to get rid of all the hippies. They arrest him, and they go to him, and they're like, why are you... We're having a music festival, Cartman. Why are you trying to stop it? And he goes, because the hippies are bad, and they're going to cause problems. And they're like, they're going to bring a lot of money. And he goes, hippies don't have money. It was really funny because Cartman's kind of a bad dude. Then they drill their way through the crowd to the center of the hippie festival.
I remember this episode. This is like early South Park. I guess not early, but like this is like when I was watching South Park. I know the exact episode he's talking about.
The point is, woke, you go to there's going to be a woke guy, a woke lady, and they're going to be like, I want to do a company that's like all about diversity, and we sell crystal balls. And you're going to be like, wow, and how much money do you plan to make?
What if we had a company that that like, made movies for kind of families. We had a company that was made for families. They make movies, they make animation, they really care about their what's it called, their their diversity and their inclusion. And then I can't even. I was gonna make like a Disney joke, and I'm just kind of like, even Disney, they always say Disney's woke, and Disney's not woke. Almost nothing is actually woke, but anyway, we're just gonna move on. I just my brain's melted from all the other bank stuff.
Make from selling your crystal balls. And they go, well, I think after we spend about $100 million in marketing diversity initiatives, people will really want to buy. What were we talking about again? SVB then says, here's money.
Imagine Tim Pool thinking, sure. Like, this is how companies work.
An A-rated ESG company making investments. I would not be surprised if it turns out they were investing in crackpot cult members or cowards. Now, what happens if you ask a coward to lead a battalion in a battlefield? It ain't gonna work out, right? You need someone of sound mind and body.
What does this have to do with fucking banking, Tim? I shouldn't be still sitting here. Like, my brain is fucking melted from listening to real people talk about the issue and like actually talk about it in a substantive way. But meanwhile, I click over to the conservative voices, and Tucker Carlson will give you like 40% of like the information you need to understand the scenario, and 60% of it spend the rest of the time pretending that it's a Democrat problem. Like, and then I click over to fucking Tim Pool, and Tim Pool's like, oh, a woke company is a company that doesn't actually produce goods or services, even though there are thousands, possibly millions of companies owned by people who are themselves diverse or hire diverse workforces who make and produce fucking goods and services. This is not like how business works, Tim. This simply isn't. There isn't a business who doesn't sell anything but just spends money on marketing to get people to buy no goods because no goods exist. This isn't a thing. This doesn't exist because it can't exist. You can't have a company that doesn't sell anything. Everyone has to sell something, some kind of thing. The only people who don't oh my god, like, this is so fucking stupid. This is what happens when you have fucking right-wing brain. When you just sit here and you go like, oh yeah, like, right-wing, the fucking woke companies, they don't actually produce anything. And it's like, what are you talking about? What is any of this? What is any of it? Can you explain any of this? But he's got to bring in like some fake company with a fake story, with a fake hypothesis. Like, all of it is synthetic. All of it, 100% of it. None of this means anything. Like, fuck, dude.
Is willing to be there, make tough decisions. So someone comes to you and says, I need $500,000 for my startup. And they go, okay, well, tell us about it. And the person there is going, I better not say anything that would offend them. I'm so scared that if I say the wrong words, then I won't get my loan. And so this person can't run a company. Or you get a cult member being like, my business is great. We're all about diversity. Here's your investment. And then what happens when it's like, come time to pay the bills? Well, we don't make money. We just preach diversity. Well, how is that?
That would be called really bragging if you didn't do an evaluation or any kind of business plan on a business. Like, if a bank takes those bets. He does understand that people go into banks with half-assed ideas for businesses and don't get money, not because they're woke or not woke, but because they don't have good ideas for businesses. Like, why did I subject myself to this?
You're not. Welcome to the modern American era. They say for 8 months last year, they had no chief risk operator. Then when the Federal Reserve increased interest rates...
They had no chief risk operator. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe it had very little to do with the pride that they were celebrating and more to do with the fact that they didn't hire a person to assess their risk. Could that be a problem on management's part? That they did not think to hire a risk manager. Jesus fucking tap dancing Christ. You just solved it, Tim. You just solved it and you don't even know it. Like, holy shit. Huh.
The value of SVB's assets fell while customers tried to withdraw their money. Now, many are slamming the financial institution for focusing too much on woke policies and not...
Nobody's doing this. Let's be clear. Nobody is actually doing this. Only dumb fucks on, like, Fox News and dumb fucks who listen to Tim Pool are like, oh, you guys were... SVB, you guys were way too woke. If you guys were less woke, maybe you'd not be broke. And it's not how it works. Jesus.
Enough on
my
its
brain.
It probably invested in trash, mind you. It said in its
it'd be great, Tim, if they were making public trades, you could just go look up what they were investing in. But like didn't we already hear about this, that they didn't like diversify their portfolio enough, that they put way too much money into very specific sectors? Like,
2022 ESG report. The bank strives to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Well, as an investor, I'm wondering if that's what I want for my investment, or do I want a functioning product that does well and good?
He does realize that these two things aren't mutually exclusive. PepsiCo has also a good ESG rating, but they're nowhere near woke. God
I was gonna say
damn
does good,
it.
That's not proper grammar, but then actually it is in this circumstance. Look, man, I want a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Well, maybe not equitable, equal opportunity.
That's what Okay.
But you come to me and you say, Tesla, electric cars. Here's our plan to reduce carbon emissions. The energy generated for these vehicles, a portion of it comes from sources like geothermal, hydro, and wind and solar. A lot of it does come from fossil fuel, natural gas, but the carbon on natural gas is relatively low. It's neutral, I believe. And then for the renewables is neutral, but there will be some carbon. Plus, we've got to manufacture the vehicles. All in all, it reduces carbon. I say, okay, sounds good to me.
Crazy thought. You can not destroy the environment, and you can also have diverse people and have a functioning business. I can't. This is so stupid. This is so fucking dumb. Like, This is literally like here, like again, this is more of like the you dared to hire non-white people. That's why you failed. That's like
They're good cars. That sounds like an investment to a product that makes sense. It's easier for you. Look, I got Tesla. I don't got to go to the gas station. It's actually fairly great. So for all of my reasons,
You have a Tesla, you cuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Fucking Tim has a Tesla and he's still gonna talk shit about companies that care about their environmental impact? You dumb fuck. The whole like selling point to owning a Tesla is like, oh hey, you know, you don't use gas, which means you're actually helping the environment when you buy this car. And that's kind of like the whole thing. That's kind of the whole thing. Like, what the fuck?
Commuting, like even within like a couple hours driving, it's actually pretty awesome. And then sometimes we want to drive 3 hours to take the gas car. There's a good reason for it. But so I think that makes sense. What if you invested in a company that said, we're going to manufacture diversity widgets that go around? I'm like, well, to be honest, with all the cult members,
it's too bad there's not a diversity widget. It's too bad that diversity widget isn't a fucking thing.
This turns out to be a bunch of hubbub. And we pull through this with no problem. Not entirely convinced, considering Biden gets up at 9 in the morning and says, everything's fine, everything's fine. Okay, assuming everything is fine, I would only advise anybody, dump any... okay, no, hold on. I will not advise anybody of anything. Sorry, have a nice day. I would ask a financial advisor. Do not take financial advice from me. You see how that works. I would ask a financial advisor if it makes sense to have investments in ESG companies. And I will tell you personally, none of this...
take your money out of PepsiCo, out of Cisco, out of NVIDIA, out of any of those companies. Totally.
Nothing in this video constitutes financial advice, and you've got no financial advice from me.
This is so stupid.
I don't even know.
This is so dumb. This is like when you learn like one thing, and that's the only thing you focus on.
Company. I don't have that much stock as it is, but I'm going to go through any company that has an ESG positive rating, I am going to pull money out of. And any
Tim, please do that live. Please fucking show me how many companies have high ESG ratings. You're gonna be shocked that a lot of them do, because everybody wants good fucking scores in as many like different things as they want. Every company wants to look its best, you fucking idiot. Like, oh my god, I can't. This is like by all means, Tim, by all means, we're done. Get me the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go get water after this. My brain hurts. You know the thing that they tell, you know, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to